Hello and welcome. I'm Carol DeChaine, and this month we're going to be talking about the summer of love. I want to talk about love for the whole month. Today, I'm going to be talking about the love, the kind of basics about love. What is it about love that makes us want it? If you're human, as I think you may be if you're listening to me, what is it about love? And everybody has a different answer, but we all agree it makes us feel good, kind of warm and fuzzy inside. People appreciate you. You feel all maybe gooey and warm. And the whole thing about love is that so many people they put conditions on love. I'll love you if. I'll love you if you take out the garbage. I'll love you if you do your homework. I'll love you if. I'll love you when you act nicer to me. I'll love you when you stop drinking. If, when, all those conditions we put on people. But really, so many times we love them anyway, but we act and say things that sound to the other person like, I'll love you if. And they're thinking, you don't love me because I am who this person is. And it's all about changing people. We want to change people because they'd be better if they did it our way. Nobody really says that anymore because it's not right to fix people. But isn't that the way a lot of us are? At least at the beginning, until you learn different, that you can't really change anybody else. You can be yourself. You can be your best self. You can love yourself. Oh, really? Can you love yourself? But most of the time, we don't realize at the beginning, at least when we're younger, that we can't fix people. Kids are going, what's the matter with that person? Why aren't they more honest? Why are they having sex with other people? This isn't what I want. Or maybe it is what you want because you're polyamorous. But they don't reach your expectations, whatever those may be. So you're thinking, well, I'd love them if they did this or when they do that. And you don't even realizing you're putting conditions on that because your love isn't that kind of love. There are all different kinds of love, and we're going to talk about that next week. And the following week, we're going to look at what you're actually looking for. Then we're going to talk about being hard on yourself and how we do that. And then we're going to talk about being love and how love will follow you. So every single week, we're also going to talk about loving yourself. Most people go, yeah, okay, I love myself. But for the first step in the love basics, realize that you need to really stop criticizing yourself. Hello. Because you are the only one who will appreciate yourself. If you do, then other people will appreciate you. Because if they act like they appreciate you and you don't appreciate yourself, you will feel it. You'll go, yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah, anybody would do that. Appreciate who you are. Appreciate all these different things about yourself. And appreciate is another word for love. Love yourself. And that means when you do something unkind, you go, whoa, okay. Is that who I want it to be? No, I want it to be more loving. Sometimes you got to decide to be unkind to people. That's what it feels like. If they're mean to you, you want to be unkind right back, don't you? You want to say, hey, watch it. Don't act like that around me. And you can set your boundaries. You can even set walls if you want, but just be aware of what you're doing. Because if you set walls up, you're keeping out love. But if you set up boundaries, people know what to expect, and that's different. I have a whole YouTube video on boundaries and another one on walls. You can listen for those, look for those. And even my podcast, Living Your Limitless Life, has a whole thing about taking down walls. Look at these basics about love. Realize that there's all different kinds of love in people's eyes. There's filial love. I love my brother, my sister, my spouse, my children, my parents, my friends. There's all these different, you love your car. Maybe you'll say you love your house. You love your job, hopefully. There's all these different kinds of love you can have. But you can just have underneath it all one growing, amazing kind of miasma of this wonderful feeling. Because if indeed, and maybe you believe this, maybe you don't, that everyone in the universe is one, that we're all part of the same flowing energy, then we all are part of this love, assuming you think the energy is love. We're all part of that energy. Don't think that someone isn't, even if they're being unkind or rude or awful and they hurt you, you can step away from them, but realize that they are someone as well who deserves love. We all are loved and loving and lovable. Lovable is a word that people may not realize about themselves. This is something that's really, really deep. And you may need to go to a therapist for if you find you don't love yourself and you don't think you deserve love. A life coach can help, like me. A bunch of other life coaches out there that really concentrate on that as well. But know that when I'm looking at the love basics, I'm looking at all of these different sorts of things that you need to kind of get. First, that you deserve love. And second, to realize that you don't have to be loved conditionally either. You don't have to put it out there for the world, and you don't have to expect yourself to only be loved at certain times, only when you're at your best. Breathe it in. Being loved is a really big start, and that's going to be the last in this series that we're going to talk about. But the love basics are all about you, not about other people, really. It's about you loving yourself, you knowing yourself, and you being willing to be open and still also at the same time you're protected, because that love, you won't even attract people who are nasty to you if you have an open love heart, I should say an open heart, and his love is there. It's a different kind of love from just being vulnerable and saying, okay, I'm open, I think. Because when you feel vulnerable, it isn't always just an open heart. It's more of a, you remember all the horrible things that have happened to you, and you're afraid to get hurt again. And this is obviously, well, it can be any kind of love. It can be the love of a friend even. People that feel like they abandon you. Maybe all your friends leave you. Then you have to say, wait, first you say, is it me or them? Because that's what people usually say first. And then you look at, are these the kind of friends I wanted anyway? What am I putting out there? And if you think you're putting out there these wonderful vibes and these people are being mean or are abandoning you, that's when you want to talk to somebody. That's when you want to talk to a life coach or a therapist and say, what is it? What's happening? What do I need to shift in me so that I attract love more than what I am? I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, not ever. But there are all sorts of lessons we can learn in life, and that's a big one, because I want you to feel that love. I want you to love yourself, and I want you to feel love from others as well. And it's kind of like when I talk about joy. Joy is ingrained. If you love yourself, it's ingrained. It's not that selfish sounding kind of love where they go, yeah, I'm great. It's not that. You probably wouldn't even think of doing that if you have this deep love for yourself. You're just there. I've known people that radiate that love, and you're just going, whoa, I want to be around that person. Well, that can be you. We're going to go into this in all sorts of detail over this month, so I hope you'll join me when we talk about the summer of love this whole month of June. Well, whatever month you're listening. Until next week, my name is, as it has been, Carol DeChaine. My business is Connect to Joy. Connect with the number 2 in there, Joy. Please, if you enjoyed this, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell notification so you know the next time that I have a posted video. And if you'd like to listen longer, more of a half an hour, 45 minutes, the podcast comes out every Wednesday. It's called Living Your Limitless Life, and it is also about finding your joy and finding more possibilities than maybe you think that you have for your life. I am a life and business coach, certified in that, as well as a Marconic multidimensional energy light worker and practitioner and teacher too, and an intuitive. Remember that you can have the life that you want. You just have to realize that you deserve it. It doesn't have to be difficult, but you have to be willing to peel away those layers that say it is, because it doesn't have to be. I'm here to help, and there are many out there that feel the same way. So until next week, thank you so much for joining me.